in this shell, I'm not thinking of spirit because I don't have understanding of that. Because that is super sensuous, not sensuous. I got to go up. To do that, the travel is mighty travel. To wake up from the ignorance. Immediately I am ignorant. The mightiest of Asura is ignorance. Kartikeya destroyed it. Not completely. Teeny bit is left, we still have that ignorance. The primal ignorance is not knowing who we really are. We are divine particle. She sent us here with total ignorance, Maya. But she's Mahamaya. She shows, just like Ganesha, puts an impediment and shows the way of overcoming the impediment. Fundamentally the same thing. You have to overcome it, and the divine helps. That's why the divine grace helps. Divine house helps. So she builds the house, she invites us, and you come here, you listen to all this, and all of a sudden your gnosis wakes up. Then you realize you are just not this body. You are much more. You are divine. And that thought process takes many, many lifetimes. Like Krishna says, Arjuna, almost 1,000,000 lifetimes. To come to that state of existence where you see clearly. Now we don't. We don't even see. We see only an illusory aspect of our life. But as time goes on, with places like this, when we invited by her, and you'll see other slide, she's so kind, she does everything possible for us to wake up. That is our decision at the time of coming to in this form. We want to wake up and go and become divine. Look at that challenge she's given you. And she's given ability to be that. You can be divine, but you have to know reality. And to do that, the separation is huge, humongous separation between us and them. Them meaning the divine elements, the Yakshinis, the Mohinis, the Vidyadharas, the Gandharvas, higher beings. But they are not mind, body, intellect alone. They are much higher than that. And they don't need, are they ETs? You can call them ETs because they are not terrestrial. They are ETs. But they come in different form and they touch us. And once we are touched, we realize, okay, these are the things, are reality. I will become that. Either I do dharma, artha, kama, moksha, or jnana, gnosis in any form. Gnosis is vidya, the real mind, not this primitive, rudimentary, corrupted mind. And that is what is given to us for a reason, so we can grow up. Again, I'm using the word growing up. And you will grow up because that's a decision. She has given us, it's predetermined already. We will be that. That means you will grow. And she will do everything possible, whatever needed for us to grow. And you'll see that's a huge job. Next slide, please. And one of the things needed is we should participate because she's so kind. She has built the house with all the needed thing, and we come and we have to consume. The consumption part comes from our sacrifice. Now is the time. At the time of reconstruction, you participate. Whatever you can do. If you don't have money, just service, anything. But a part of your Atman has to be there. We have to give our love, our affection, our reverence. Anything we can give to the higher being. In return, we get so much. So now is the time. Once it's done, she finishes the house, she has given the house, then our expectation also has to go down. Okay, we are not paying that what is needed. Now is the time when the construction process is there. You understand what the way she does it, why she does it, and participate. That's the most important. Every religion has that. That's the word sacrifice. Sacrifice is not the best word because sacrifice has a negative connotation, but truly it's not a sacrifice. You're making investment. All the investments you make, they're short term because you're going to leave it and go. For sure you're going to leave it. When, I don't know. 10 years, 100 years, but you are going to walk away like Steve Jobs of Apple left $20 billion worth of Apple. 1 second, it's gone. So whatever investment we made, it has to be short term. This, what she's giving us, is a long term. Truly long term, because I'm not going to leave it. It'll go with me time after time after time, the pure part of it. So I got to purify it, make it energetic, make it meaningful, and take it as my investment for the next stage. So it's truly a long-term investment she's giving us. She's an investment advisor. She shows us investment, she gives us a place where we can get return, high return, eternal return. It'll always be with us. So look at it that way. And that's the truth. This is one aspect, Puri Jagannath, that group who are Jagannath Ji worshippers, they wanted this kind because it's the original kind in Puri. So we are recreating. Mother would recreate that. So they would have that as a Sannidhanam for them. That's beautiful. So that it'll be done probably in 6 months. Jagannath Ji. And that group, very wise group, they said, we will raise that money for that. We will pay for that. And you do that. That's the best. If we pay, temple pays, she pays, they won't get that much. When they pay, raise the fund themselves, and we build it, naturally they will get more return. Look at the beautiful concept. So when I told them, they were very, very enthusiastic. It costed us probably $60,000, $70,000, that part alone. There are other things needed. So they are going to have that. And they will get more return than if we build it and give it to them and for them to use it. So how nicely she has planned it, and that's the way it is. And it looks so nice too. It'll be in the same place, but represented like this. So everything we do is very meaningful, and she does it, and we just do small things. That's why I said, participate. Whatever you can, participate now, because you won't have the chance. End of the year it'll be done, and that chance is gone. She will give you much other chances, yes, but this will be the most effective. I want you to take advantage of it. In this year, whatever you can do. I said, if you can't afford to pay, don't worry. Do whatever you can. Make another life form happier, more fulfilled. Any life form. Human preferably, because they are the highest conscious beings in this life. But any life form, because every aspect of hers exists. So you don't have to feel bad that you can't afford to contribute. If you can afford, do it. Do it very enthusiastically, because that is truly a long-term investment. But if you cannot have the money, just give your love, your affection, come down, do some cleaning, and do all these people standing there. They give you the time, and that's the most effective time, because among all the functions you can do to help somebody else, helping that soul to wake up will be the highest. Because Mother told me, you can donate money, feed people, do health service, whatever service you want. But whatever you do, you didn't do anything to me. Me meaning Mother, Divine Mother in me. Truly do that, you help that soul. Because that is what me. The aspect of me which is permanent, which is dear to me, is that part. Because that is me. It makes sense. Anything else is going to go. Time comes, you're going to shed the shell and move on. So there's no long term. But the spirit is long term. What are we doing? We are helping. We are spreading the truth, all this mystical knowledge we spread. That is going to wake them up. So logically, that would be the best investment. Because there are many yakshinis here. Some of you have seen them. They come when I do the prayogam. They'll ask questions. What can you do for her? You're asking her, you're doing prayogam. What is it you really want to do for her? And what does she need? I was wise enough to tell her I would share her. Her meaning Mother. I'll share her with whoever I can. People, anything, any way, I'll share her. Then they actually said, you're a wise man. Because that's the only thing is of meaning to her. She'll be kind to you, you can do anything she'll appreciate. But truly what you can do is to share her with other life forms so that she will achieve what she wanted. She wanted to wake us, make this our life form, higher life form. And that is what we do. So that's the best thing you can do. This temple, that's the opportunity she has given us. So take advantage of it. I take advantage of it. I call myself a mailman. I deliver mail. Whatever information I give you is the mail from her. And she's very personal. You'll see how she's a very personal goddess in this temple. She directly communicates with you, whether you know it or not. She interacts with you. Next slide, please. Can they hear me?
Yes.
Okay, that's the Dvaja Stambham. Bali Piram Simo is all being prepared. It'll be kept in front of the temple. So as you come in, you'll drop your ego. Bali Piram. You sacrifice your dirty part and you come with the purity. And then the energy is a lion. So you have a Simavahanam, Dvaja Stambham to remind us of the Kundalini. And then Bali, I have sacrificed my ego and come with the knowledge that I am part of you and I will come back to you. I will become you. Ultimately, I will become you. So that's what this symbolism, these three aspects, to remind us. And it's good to have for a temple. It's good to have. If you know what they mean, you have to know what they mean. Next slide, please. There are a couple of newer ones you may not know. This newer aspect of Mother, you may not know. So I'll just touch on it. Isaki Amman. How many of you know Isaki? Isaki Amman? Not many. I didn't know that. Isaki Amman is Icha Shakti. Icha Shakti that became Isaki. In the south, Isaki Amman, Icha Shakti. Icha Shakti is very important. Icha Jnana Kriya Shakti. Among that, Icha Shakti is very important because it gives desire for deliverance. Our deliverance. Icha Shakti. Icha Kriya Jnana. That Icha Shakti, it gives you knowledge about fulfillment of our aim. Not Icha for any Icha is fine. There's one thing our tradition permits us. Our tradition is very permissive. No judgment. If you don't grow up this life, you'll grow up next life. If you don't grow up next life, you'll grow 100,000 lifetime from now. Very, very liberal. Very non-judgmental. Even the concept of hell is not there, but that pain and the suffering is there. When you leave, when you pass the river, after death, that is painful, not the pain way we understand, deeply painful in the soul level because of what we did or what we did not do. We have to correct that. That has to be paid. And Icha Shakti gives you desire for higher living, higher level of existence. That Icha, she will grant you. So she's represented like that, Icha Shakti. And that became Isaki Amman. So we thought we will have a statue in the Drishtipeetham area. She'll be there. And think about Icha this way. And any other Icha is okay too. But don't forget, whatever you have, that's why our Sanatana Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, it allows anything. But don't forget that moksha. Ultimate end point is that. You enjoy whatever in between. But your journey, your destination is that, moksha. Union with Mother, moksha. That is the end point. Don't forget that. But enjoy whatever else with dharma as a background. Don't do anything not dharmic. But Krishna Bhagavan says even that you can do a dharmic, but do it on my behalf. If you do it, then you won't do bad things. A dharmic thing. So it's a very, very liberal religion, easy really to follow. Because they don't judge you. As I said, if you don't do it this time, you'll do it 100,000 times from now. But ultimately, your destiny is that you will reach her, you will become divine, you will join her. And once that statement is made, what to do, she does. Whatever needed, she does. She helps us, she gives mantras, tantras, yantras, place to come and meditate on her. All of it, she does. But use it. But to consume her, you got to give something so that your Atman would accept it. That's again a strange thing. Why can't she give it to you? Why do you have to accept it? You have to, because otherwise you cannot join her. To get close to somebody, you got to live with them, you got to know them. So when you give yourself, again I say self. Self is used to show the soul, self, myself. That's a nice word. Myself, my real self is my soul. So that union comes with some sacrifice. Something of mine I give, not because she needs it, because I want it. When I do them, I consume her. She's the one who is consumed. I'm the consumer. But to do it effectively, I got to do all this. Sacrifice, penance, they all become part of it. This aspect you may not know. I'm sure you don't know. Nobody knows. Anyone knows Garbha Raktambika? Anyone? You know how I found her? There is a doctor. She's not even a Hindu, she's a Muslim. Very distinguished doctor. And she became pregnant. Then I saw her and I just, sometimes I know into her. I said, this girl will have a problem in delivery. She's a gynecologist. Look at the strange thing. She's a gynecologist. Just like I said, one day I get a call from her mother, who's also a doctor. She's a doctor, she's having major problem. They have to take her to surgery because the fetus is in transverse position. It's getting distressed. And we know them because the pulse goes up, respiration goes up, we know it's in distress. So they're getting ready to take her to surgery. So she calls me, and she's a Muslim, not even a Hindu. Doctor, you can do something. I said, I'll go to the temple and pray for her. That's all I can do. So I came here at 1 o'clock, 15 minutes, I prayed to her. And as soon as I finished it, I get a call from her. She's in Arizona. I said, Dr. Kumar, you won't believe it. Everything became normal. The thing moved, and she came out. Then I said, God, she's so prompt. So that lady now, she wants a sponsor. This deity was not known. So I thought every deity has a right to her own place, and she does a very effective job. She's a super specialist gynecologist. So I thought any of our devotees have any problem in this relation, they should have a place to come and ask, call a consultant. And she's a consultant. Where is the slide? Garbha, look at the beautiful name, Garbha Rakshambika. And there is a temple in India for her. So I thought, this place should have one. And no, she insisted. That doctor was a patient. She insisted she wants to have a place for her here. And as I said, she's not even a Hindu. So she insists that she wants to sponsor her. So we did it. Garbha Raktambika. So any pregnancy, they have their own specialist now. Okay, next. Okay, this is again to show how personal mother gets, how much she wants us. See, she gave these 3 gurus to the temple. They are very actively present. They're not inhuman. They have moved on to higher form of existence. This was the first one. How did I find him? I was studying mysticism at that time. So mother has decided already 50 years ago, this fellow would do the job for me. For me meaning for us, that I'll be able to do that. To do that, I have to have a qualification. And I did not have any qualification. You got to be special. You got to be able to communicate. Not with a cell phone or Verizon or T-Mobile. Really communicate to the higher forms. Because information would come through them. Whatever I need to do, that would be given to me. But I got to know that language. I got to know that information. So she made sure that she brought these siddhas in my life to teach me. Just to give you an idea, he took me 3 times to Kumbh Mela. You know, Kumbh Mela comes once in 12 years. 3 times he took me. First time, again, early morning, 4 o'clock, he'll take me and make me dip in Ganges and give me the mantra. First time I couldn't know anything. Second time, after 12 years, I could differentiate the sound. I could differentiate the mantra. I know that language. I can hear them. Third time, I could hear them. During that time, she gave me all the information I needed. That mantra, tantra, yantra, whatever I needed. So she brought him. And then how did I know who he is? In the scroll, Nadi reading. I read him, and it came. He's a very unique soul. He's a shepherd's soul, meaning he'll come periodically and take the sheep back to Krishna. He was a Krishna Bhakta. And it said he was with Krishna once, and he keeps coming back and take that group. He's in Vrindavan. That'd be appropriate. he just moved on. Wonderful soul. They call him Jagat Guru, Purushottam Goswamiji. His son is a very unique man. He's a Jagat Guru now in Vrindavan. And the ISKCON founder, Prabhupada, was his friend. He only encouraged him to come to USA and start the ISKCON movement. Very unique person. I would never have known. And first time when I found out where he lived in Vrindavan, and he had an ashram. And I didn't even know Vrindavan is real. I was so ignorant. I thought it's mythical. Then one of my residents said, no, I'm from Delhi, and it's only 3 hours. And it was reinvented by in 15th century. Before that, they did not know it existed. It's all forested. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw him in his third eye. Then there is a place where Krishna played. So he went and he found it. That is Vrindavan, that area. So once I know it existed, and it's so kind she is. That doctor intern's father was a chief of police in Delhi. So he took me. Look how beautifully she does that. How practical. Person who had never even heard of Vrindavan can go and given. So when I went first time, it's really very dramatic. I see that he was giving satsang, satsang, evening, and the jeep took me in, and there must be thousands of people. Center, I see the little stage and little movement. He was there. I never met him before. But as soon as I saw him, he walked right towards me and said, why did you make me wait so long? I waited for so thousands of years, I waited for you. It took so long to come back to me. So he knew me, who I was and what is my function. So he gave me whatever I needed. So she made sure I get that help. And he is another one. Chidambaram, Chidam, Nataraja, that was his Ishtadevata. They called him only Nataraja. No priest will call him his name. Mahapariva was a very close friend of his. They'll always call him Nataraja, because he was so close to Nataraja. He was his devotee, and he did whole life he spent with him. And he gave me that yantra. That yantra, now I realize, it cannot be given to somebody. And he was a master yantra maker. And Mahapariva, when he goes to consecrate a temple, when people come and say, can he come and open the temple? He will say, who made the yantra? If Swarna Venkateshwara makes it, I'll come and do it. Because I know the divine will come there. Because yantras are very important. You cannot find a yantra. You can't make one yantra. I wouldn't know who to go, where to get. You can buy yantras in temple towns. You can go and buy yantra for maybe 10 rupees, 1,000 rupees, whatever. But they are not true. Yantra is a software. It's all programming. The person has to be a programmer and program that disk. That's an yantra. How could you find someone who knows to talk to the deity and put the thought process in that form? And each line, triangle, all the lines are very meaningful. That person should be in very close touch with the deity, with the I use the word high vibratory energy. That is a deity. That emotion with that high vibratory energy is a deity. So that person should be very close to that. To make that yantra impossible. You cannot find truly a person who knows the deity and imprint that and give it to you so that he can go and practice. How could I get? Because he came in that and he gave it to me. And when he gave me the yantra, he put me through lots of difficulty. I mean, first he laughed. He said, the person really exists. I said, apparently you are one of them. He said, no, don't even think of it. I'm a simple Brahmin priest, and don't give me that position, because that's a very dangerous position to be in. But Mahapariva knew him.